Someone sent this to me. I watched about a minute or two of it, and then I thought it'll be more fun to watch with you guys. This is called I Decided to Get Good at Warcraft 3, a documentary by Angelikatosh. I've been feeling a little empty lately, like there's some higher purpose that I'm supposed to achieve, but I'm doing nothing about it, and I think I've finally found this higher purpose. It's Warcraft 3. True! That's my higher purpose too! Thanks, Arthur, for the expert life coaching, and thanks, Grubby, for your YouTube tutorials. Cool. My brother's name is Arthur. Do you think my brother coached her? He coached me recently. What was it? 21 years ago when I started playing Warcraft 3. 22 years ago. Maybe it's a different Arthur. I actually know Angelikatosh from Elder Scrolls. She said something like she played one of the newer Elder Scrolls and then she tried some of the older ones. I was in a rabbit hole of watching people play Daggerfall for the first time at some point. There's some others. The guy called Frostbreak, I think. Daggerfall was my first Elder Scrolls. You can tell a lot by a person's age. What is your first Elder Scrolls game? Is it Oblivion? Is it Morrowind? Is it Skyrim? Starfield? Or Daggerfall? Or whatever came before Daggerfall, Elder Scrolls 1. So I'm a Daggerfaller, so I'm near 40. If you're Morrowind, you're probably mid-30s or early 30s. So yeah, let's check this out. I decided to get good at Warcraft 3. I'm interested. 35-minute documentary. Let's check it out.
I am a very bad Warcraft 3 player. This is a fact that affects me in my day-to-day life. I always experience this gnawing feeling that something is missing, and I think that that something is being able to play Warcraft 3 competitively. I decided that I shall have no more of this, and I was going to take matters into my own hands. Whatever it takes, I must get good at Warcraft 3. I knew I couldn't do this alone, so I enlisted the help of my brother Arthur, who coached me, and streamer Grubby's educational Warcraft 3 videos on YouTube. I would watch his tutorials day and night. It got to the point where I almost developed a Dutch accent myself. I would awake in the middle of the night to phantom sounds of my unit production getting halted.
My accent isn't that strong.
I knew this wouldn't be easy, so I even made a community post to tell you guys that I wasn't sure if this super secret project was going to work out in the end. But that post was quitter talk. And I'm not a quitter. I'm just a very slow learner. After much preparation for this video, it was finally time to take my theory into practice and actually play some Warcraft 3. This video is going to be a documentary of how I went from not knowing what to do against an easy AI to actually beating another player in an online ranked match. This is how I went from peon
on W3 Champions or on Battle.net?
The first thing I decided to do was to play through the entire campaign again. Everything, including Frozen Throne. It had been years since I touched the game last, so I was due the reminder, and for some reason I thought that this would be the best way to go about it. But halfway through, I realized that I was making a big mistake. And I stopped this. While it is true that the campaign is a reminder of the general controls and the different unit types, other than that, it actually does very little to prepare
Good luck, you've got Farsight first!
Play. None of the games that I watched on YouTube looked like the campaign, where you had random, nuanced objectives or a pre-built town. While the campaign is excellent
with gold mine 10 peasants away from your town,
for my current journey, it was just wasting time and delaying the necessary training. Instead, I came up with a more clearly defined roadmap.
It's fun though.
I was going to defeat.
It's fun though. I'm surprised she didn't finish the campaign just for fun, but like she clearly has a goal of wanting to learn to play Warcraft 3 multiplayer. Like she could just take it easy and do the campaign first and have fun with that and then start learning. But she actually cut off her campaign practice to do this route. Okay.
Easy AI. Spoiler, for me, it was not easy. Followed by defeating normal AI. Then I would defeat insane AI, which at the beginning of my journey seemed like a very unreasonable and unattainable goal. Finally, I needed to defeat a real player in an online ranked match. I chose Orc to be my race.
Good.
Why? No reason in particular. I just think they're neat. From watching Grubby, I actually learned that humans are the easiest beginner race, but I was so set on Orc that I just had to go with my gut. You will not believe how long this entire journey took me, but stick around because at the end of this documentary,
all shall be revealed.
All shall be revealed.
Just a quick note on my easy and normal win replays. During the production of
wait,
this
she did it! Spoilers! Normal win alone, easy win, second insane win, first insane win. And she drew out the eye. First insane win! First game on new client, first normal win, first win, easy, no coaching. Oh, so she doesn't count it as fair if her brother coached her during it. First win of all time. Joke. Easy game, Firelord. Lol.
Warcraft 3 actually had a patch which broke my replays. So the way that they looked after the patch was as if I did nothing beyond building
no
an altar,
input.
and then I had the enemy team come and completely destroy my base, which is totally not what happened. I wouldn't have saved replays if they were like that. So
Yeah, makes sense.
I ended up doing these by myself with
Whoa!
no coach, might I add. Again, just
Holy zoom
recording
in.
it in OBS so that I would have it for this video. But yeah, just to note, the original easy and normal wins were unfortunately corrupted somehow.
She's
after
using
the patch,
hotkeys.
so there is that. But about the actual training and the actual games, cards on the table, I was off to a rough start. I had already kind of learned what
Classic-
a build order was
classic
through
SD.
watching YouTube and speaking with my coach
Classic
Arthur,
HD.
but even this was proving to be quite the challenge in the beginning. I was very nervous going into this. There was a lot of misclicking and misclicking and misclicking.
Yep.
Each time that I clicked on the wrong thing, I would feel that I'd lost my balance
Restart!
and reset immediately. For the games where I didn't reset, very quickly the AI would rally its troops and teach me a harsh lesson. Again and again and again. How was this easy?
She's not using hotkeys for restart. If you really want to master the art of restarting, you go F10 ER. F10 ER, bam! Before you could even have second thoughts, you're in a new game.
And after tons of resets, I finally managed to get my build order right. I had the setup down, I just needed to get better at managing everything all at once. I was going for
She has a build order with headhunters. Okay. Farseer headhunter build. Timing looks good. War mill before racks. 1 burrow. It's gonna make second burrow
a
soon.
berserker build, which meant that I had to keep a close eye on my resources for teching, which of course I was not doing. By the time
Her 17th peon, like her 12th peon was late, 17 pop.
I could have had berserkers, I was just battling it out with my headhunters, suffering for no reason. The encounters themselves were another thing. I was losing a lot of units to silly mistakes and misclicks. My idea was that I was going to be a really aggressive
Holy shit! Wow! Aggressive burrow! Hey, Focus used to play like this. He would make towers here on Turtle Rock, in between the two Turtle 7 gold mines, and he would do a slow siege with Blademaster Naga Tinker. I'm not sure if that's what she's doing here. This is a 2006 build Focus did against Moon.
player, go in the enemy base very early game, harass them from the beginning, and hopefully don't allow the game to progress too far where they'd had their level 6 hero abilities. Going into the
Makes
base
sense.
was completely fine, but what I had to do from there was not. I was constantly neglecting
APM 60. APM 60? She doesn't have the game time, so I don't know how late behind schedule she is, but the enemy AI, he doesn't have a lot of units. This looks like an easy win here. It's like 3 units against 6 headhunters.
units that were close to death, 0 micromanaging skills.
No, she's
If I'm pulling
microing.
back, I pulled back my entire team instead of just the units that needed to go back.
That's
and
true.
with that, I was missing out on quite a lot of damage that I could have been doing to get closer to victory.
She heals off her peon.
After reset, I finally made progress. But to sum it up, my very first easy win was done with my coach Arthur by my side. I continuously neglected troll production and upgrades to actually get my berserkers, so everything was done a lot later than it could have been. But the thing about
Okay, she's
easy
using
AI
active.
is that it does a lot of things that are really weird, like it'll run out of its base completely, or it'll chase you,
Yeah.
leave all of its stuff vulnerable, not protect its heroes, and instead have them running all over the place.
Yeah.
Understanding this led to my first win. As my coach said, in a real game, this would never happen, which is why it was.
I mean, it could happen as well in a real game. It depends how low on the ranked ladder you go. You can see her macros starting to slip, 1600 gold.
But my first easy win was very exciting.
Yeah.
I'd actually never done that before, and I have played Warcraft 3. Here's the thing, like, I have my experience with RTS games in the sense that I've played the campaign, and Warcraft 3 was my childhood game. I played it versus my brother, who at the time also had absolutely no idea what he was doing, so it was fun. But I'd never won like this. I didn't know how, and now I did.
That's cool.
The next few easy wins, including the one from this recreation, were done on my own without the help of my coach by my side.
Normal AI. Here we go. 4K bank.
I'll
Yeah.
be honest, I did not take that long to get a normal win after my easy. I had a game plan in mind here, like I knew I would enter the base really
Guys, what's the difference between normal and easy anyway? I can't even tell the difference. They both look like they do nothing, just sit in their base. At level 1, you show up with level 3, 2, and they're level 1 sitting in base with a small tier 1 army. You just kill them. They do nothing even on insane. Yeah, I feel like they're a bit broken. Like, normal does more heroes, slightly faster. Yeah, insane gets more gold, but normal...
early, disrupt the production by harassing and pulling back, try to get as many units as possible while keeping up my unit production. It by any means wasn't ideal, quite slow in fact most of the time, but it was enough to overwhelm the normal
3
AI
heroes!
and show
Nice.
them who's boss. This recreation I also did by myself. In fact, this was my quickest win time on normal yet, 12 minutes. This was the point at which I'd pretty much figured out my build order, what I wanted for the game, and how to get there.
Nice.
After like 2 normal wins, I felt that I was finally ready for insane.
Ooh, that's gonna be hard. Insane AI is hard for people.
This is not a...
You need to contain them and hurt them before the 10-minute mark. Otherwise, insane AI is going to get several necromancers and frostworms and meatwagon. Especially undead insane AI is very hard for people.
drill.
This is not a drill. Single player, custom game.
I like
Could I
how...
just straight up create insane game?
Uh-huh. I like that you seem to be excited about it, but it's just beating an AI that's fully abusable.
I couldn't beat easy AI 2 days ago, so I am very excited about this.
I was pretty happy about it too, because I spent a long time playing this game not being able to do any of this
Oh
shit.
my god. It feels like wrong to set it to this.
Feels wrong.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
There might be some resets. because-
Go for it.
Yeah. Yeah, some resets was an understatement.
Ugh, smooth.
That's
Not
fast.
really. While he's running to the altar, you can actually have those
Yeah.
peons made. But you know, that's
This
for
one
the
does
pros.
burrow. So for
Do you
some
think she's gonna make the new peon becomes the burrow, or like the pre-new peon? Because then you get your hero 2 seconds faster. But I think that's not really the kind of thing that people should be worried about when they're new to Warcraft 3, right?
strange reason, it was almost like I
Angelica's watching you right now. Oh, hi, Angelica. Fun to see you try out Warcraft 3. Cool documentary. Hope you don't mind me watching.
had unlearned everything from my easy and normal wins because I had to almost go back to basics with my build order.
It's wrong. You actually fucked up. Wasn't it to put a unit into... Did you put... Are there 5 inside of the gold mine?
No,
And why is your timer... Oh, that's wrong. Restart.
we're starting.
That's
It was one war mill too early. Well, one peon too early. She still has 4 in gold. And the problem is you then won't have enough gold to build the barracks 15 seconds after the war mill, which is its timing. You would only be able to do it 30 seconds after. And the war mill, he coaches like Grubby. Actually, I was going to tell Viper to quit the game, remember? But you guys bait me to keep him to stay in because he did something wrong. I can be a little bit of a perfectionist. Maybe I don't know what her brother is like. He's like, wrong, restart. There's real value in continuing when you've made a mistake because it teaches grit, persistence, and coming back from behind. But there's also value in being efficient with your time and trying to iron out the build order until you get it right. But you got to concentrate in order to make it worth it.
wasn't thinking.
Okay. So. Shit,
Nice.
I keep choking.
Yeah. let's-
Not just did she misclick, she only noticed it later as well.
This is awful.
Just put him in, it's okay.
Okay, I'm fully focused. That was a lie. She was, in fact, not focused at all.
It's a precision game as well. It's kind of like a shooter game where you actually have to focus. That altar placement's a bit sketchy.
It's okay. It's fine.
I mean, not that I know the best altar placements and stuff, but that was pretty shit.
I mean that's pure sibling love, right? That's sibling love. Like, of course, siblings always give each other a tough time. I'll tell you what I know about altar placement. There are ways to keep enemies outside of your base. It's completely irrelevant when you're playing against AI. Secondly, the peon travels slower than the hero. So the closer you build it to the starting location of the peon, the better it is to get your hero out as fast as possible on the map. Because if your peon walks all the way in front of your base to make the altar, then the hero comes out, you've lost travel time since the peon had to walk further and it delayed your altar by 2 seconds. So actually really good to build your altar right next to where the peons spawn, so long as it doesn't impede their movement in a negative way. I say impede in a negative way because sometimes it impedes movement but then makes it positive the way that pathing works. So yeah, you just have to test it. But I feel like that altar placement was fine. Shame on you, Arthur.
Sorry, I choked.
I swear it's because it's like recording or something that you decided to be like...
I'm literally just, okay. I'm chill. I'm chill. At this point, I'd kind of gotten over the fact that I set my difficulty to insane because I hadn't met the computer in combat yet. So, you know, I had my build order going, I had peon production, everything seemed to be going okay. I actually felt like I had it some...
This burrow altar placement is a little sus. If you put your altar rally to the bottom left, it's going to spawn in the corner. There's a tree here. It will then counterclockwise... Wait, counterclockwise. Actually, it's fine.
What figured out.
Cut, editor, cut.
Mistakes.
There's something I don't like about all those buildings being placed there, but I think it's probably okay.
The only way this would go wrong is if she rallies to the top left. But, wait, where did she spawn? She spawned in the top left of Turtle Rock. Okay, if this altar rallies towards the Turtle 7 spot in between these two bases for the second hero, then it'll get stuck here.
That's right. That's
yeah, barracks.
Keep it,
yeah,
keep
man,
it.
The barracks. Now we're gonna place the barracks there.
That was actually good. I think. No, maybe not. Yeah, it was late.
It's fine.
Okay.
They're playing against the
Even
AI.
supply count is a little sus. 18 out of 21.
Over there.
I think we're one peon short.
Make another burrow.
Why don't you have the thrall skin
Sorry, what?
on your character? Why don't you have the thrall skin? So you can feel like the main character.
Alright, he's on his way, and I'm gonna do another one.
Wait, how did she...
Alright, he's on his way.
Oh, she's holding the portrait of the headhunter to track him on camera with a mouse here.
I'm gonna do another one. Then I'm gonna
make the wolves, yeah.
Of course.
Okay. Yeah, there it is.
Attack the workers, not the lumber mill. It's really high.
Oh, they're abusing AI.
Just the workers.
To idle the workers.
Yeah, that's a really bad first hero. Back up, remember? Like I said, back up a little bit. You don't want to lose any.
I want to kite him out.
My eyes are open.
Not too far, just
It is
within reason, please. Okay, well,
Don't
your
get hit
Farseer's
by the
taking
grunt.
more damage than it probably needs to from that grunt.
Should I resummon wolves?
No, just don't get hit by the
grunt. You want to do
grunt.
damage while you're cutting them.
Sorry, yeah, you're right.
And now you allowed your headhunter to nearly die. Oh, he's pulling out. Ah, and then you pulled it back in just as he pulled out.
Yeah, I should have not done that.
Okay.
Not.
Honestly, Lakari moves like this sometimes too. I see this in Lakari more than almost anyone, where he's using ranged unit and moves into enemy instead of attacking because of misclicks.
Your Farseer's taken an unreasonable amount of damage because you've never cutted them away. So.
Fuck, the Farseer
really
died. Should I reset?
You have so much gold because you haven't been spending anything you could buy back, but you should probably reset.
Yeah, I should really reset.
No.
I wonder if having the thrall skin would have saved me in this situation. I should have been tier 2ing by now.
It's not about the fact that you should have been tier 2ing. Even if you're a little bit slow in making the... Yep.
Just gonna chill around these flowers right here.
Perfect.
Okay.
It's just that
I think if you make a culture out of restarts, sometimes it has a negative impact of not taking any one game seriously. Sometimes you should start a game and say, I will literally kill my plant. I will not water it for a week if I don't get it right this time. And then you'll see the motivation. You'll see the motivation suddenly.
that even real players, whenever you have to take advantage of the fact that some people are lazy or the AI is just slow, that when it focuses on a thing, it's not going to unfocus it for a while. Okay? Mm-hmm. And the micromanagement, you know micro, do you know what that means? Micro?
Yeah.
You don't move all of your, I mean, you could technically say that technically is still micromanagement, it's just like the movement of your units and shit. But you micromanage one unit while the rest of them still attack. And then during that period, while they're chasing and you're attacking, you have more DPS.
Now that is some excellent coaching and advice here, but the question is, did she take that advice?
Probably destroy that.
Run! Run Farseer! Only the
pull back.
Farseer!
Your hero, yeah, not all of your units.
No, okay.
Put the wolves
sure,
not on
you
the
committed
graveyard,
to-
on the lich.
Once you've made a commitment, it's
What?
an opportunity
Run!
cost. And
No!
then if you completely stop doing something,
Oh,
that
I
should
just
feel
messed
bad.
it up, I think.
It's fine. It's because it's just the nature of the undead.
Oh, they've
do a
destroyed
lot
it.
of
They've
damage.
destroyed it.
Yeah, you're okay, yeah.
I'm resummoning.
Run! Oh, she's dead. Restart
Okay, well,
7.
you're very neglectful of your hero.
Yeah.
You will take a little bit more damage if you're against undead because they have nuke abilities, but that doesn't mean that you have to take everything for granted completely.
Does that look like somebody that cares about the well-being of their heroes?
You
Sure,
should.
your Farseer just doesn't take any damage, just, yeah.
Oh, I destroyed it.
I even think he
Good-
canceled it.
good
I think,
movement
I don't
now
know
on
if
the
AI
Farseer.
can cancel their buildings.
No, I destroyed.
You sure?
Yeah.
I don't know, probably.
Pretty sure destroyed.
Yeah, you did. He cancelled it.
That's a really crap hero. It's not a good first hero, but it's really annoying.
This one?
No, it is.
His one, yeah.
These
You're doing
days
pretty
it
good,
is.
I'd say. You're gonna kill.
Apparently, in my tier list, I put Cryptlord low on the rating, but that must be an old tier list from pre-patch because Happy is like Cryptlord first every game against human. That's a very strong starting hero, actually.
That cool. It's trying to send it back. Just make sure your wolves stay on it.
Oh,
They're
good
decent.
micro.
Okay, that's one ghoul.
Pretty decent. Here, she should do a rectangle click around the Farseer and Wolf, and then Control 1, and then Control 2 on the Wolves. And then these, they move away and kite, and you do Control Group 2 and you attack ghouls. If you don't want a Control Group, still, it's okay. Attack this ghoul with everything, and then do a rectangle box click on Headhunter and Farseer, and just move them away by themselves. And just don't touch the Wolves again.
Look out.
Yeah, that's a reasonable job. Make sure you're still producing.
Headhunter has to walk to the right. To the right.
You can
Oh, sorry,
Go into tier 2
60.
really
He's
soon.
taking too many hits when he
I
walks
need
to the
more
left.
burrows. Fuck.
You didn't make a
Ah,
barrel,
GG. No, you're looking away too long from your hero.
Now you're not looking at the fight.
I'm not. No. Fuck. I've just messed up.
Just run.
It's good that she macroed during the fight, but first you have to run away far enough, not 300 range, but the slower you are at macro, the further you have to walk away. So if you need to walk away one screen so that you have time, then that works.
Just run all the way. Just
You're not her coach, bro. Dude! I can't help it. Yes, I know. You know she can't hear you? Actually, no, she's listening apparently. I mean, I don't know if she still is. But...
Maybe I had this really toxic problem where if I shifted my focus to my base for even a second, I'd just start letting all my units die.
Yeah, so that's why you have to walk first. Plus, I'm also talking to other new players, right? Other new players that might be looking to learn Warcraft 3.
Is he not doing anything?
You've lots of mana. You can creep.
Yeah?
Make sure you're still producing units. Have you gone to tier 2? Have you gone to tier 2?
At this point.
Tier 2. Tier 2. Tier 2. Not a
Tier
burrow.
2 what?
Not a
Not
Tier
there,
burrow.
2.
not there.
Or tier 3 then.
That's a wall off.
Yeah.
I can do both.
Burrows are
Wow,
hard
you're
edge.
faster than I am. You're
They're
tier
wall
3.
offs against other
With the way
buildings.
things were going at this point, me doing anything right or on time was just super unexpected for everybody.
What?
When he's done, he'll pick up my healing spells.
Oh,
and stuff.
okay.
I didn't pick them up right
I was
now.
wondering what you were saying about the Torrent Chieftain. I'm quite fond of him. I like it when the conversation switches to the Torrent Chieftain.
Yeah, I know you do.
The TC.
I know you hate it when I neglect him when he dies.
You know what? I actually think that you might not be ready to kill Insane Computer. I think you're
I'm-
way too bad at micromanagement at the moment.
It's typical sibling talk.
That was devastating. Fuck. My coach losing faith in me really hindered my morale and led to another reset.
Yeah.
Where's he going?
Okay, this is
That's brutal. That's brutal. I'm one of the new players he's talking to. Good.
6, 5.
Seeing is believing.
Her build order is consistently wrong. She's at 18 population again, 1 peon too short, which is why her gold has pulled up too high before her lumber has pulled up in order to be able to tech the tier 2. This is why build orders exist, because they're planned out. 7 peons on wood leads you to 21-21 on your second headhunter. Then you become 21-31 and you have enough money to tech.
Oh, humans.
Take the farm out. Take the farm out.
Wow, human cancelled its own flame strike. What an idiot.
You can somewhat...
That's an AI, by the way.
Yeah, just
They're all
run off,
following me.
run off, run off. with
Wait, so
them,
does
and
AI
they'll
never
destroy
complete the
farm.
flame strike?
The wolves are destroying the farm.
They
Yeah,
did.
They did, yeah.
What you just saw here was some major progress. Me pulling the Farseer out without the wolves. I was not doing this at all before.
Yeah, that's true. That's good, actually. That's good. They let it finish if you stand still. Oh, I see. I see.
And
Even though there's too big of a distance gap between the wolves and the Farseer, just the concept of being able to disconnect two armies in two different places and become aware that you're doing it, that's a great progress.
may not look like much on screen, but this was me actually learning and practicing micromanaging, which again, I've heard so much about, and I knew theoretically what it is and what it does, but I was just not doing it at all.
So she is currently attacking footmen with right-click commands, which means if she misclicks, which we know she sometimes does, judging from the peons on the gold mine, it moves ranged armies into enemies. This is why I teach a left click, even when you're targeting a unit, because the punishment for misclick is that you're attacking the wrong target while staying at max distance. If you right-click on a footman, the punishment for misclick is that you move a fragile ranged army into Knight's Abomination footman. So a left-click is more laborious, it's more tedious, but you protect yourself from the damage of misclicks. And I do this all the time in real games. You've got two hands anyway. What is your left hand doing while your whole army is selected and you're doing a right-click on the footman? Your left hand is not doing anything. It can't do anything because you're in a current selection. So you might as well put it to work. Guys, what the fuck? No, this was not a huff farming moment.
Make sure you're still making trolls. Make sure that your Farseer is not getting whooped. Okay, so what I don't like about what you're doing is I don't think you always need to move all of your...
I don't think she can take that in. If he wants to yap more than a few words, they need to pause the game and they need to talk. Plus, you know, usually positive reinforcement better than negative. What I don't like what you're doing is that I cannot focus on micro anymore. If there's one thing I learned from the new players, they get very overwhelmed. Very overwhelmed. They can't handle the game itself to begin with, since they're challenging themselves to beat better opponents. They can handle campaign, of course. But if you're playing against insane AI, they can't handle anything, any extra info. That's why I stopped doing live coaching as well.
Your units back. Just the one that's getting focused.
Okay, so baby steps. I was kind of learning it, but also I think because
good.
of muscle memory,
Solo
I just
Farseer control.
kept selecting my whole army and moving everybody, so it was going to take some time before I could do this successfully.
Maybe
Right, she has habits from campaign already, maybe other RTS. So she's working to override previously established muscle memory. By the way, this is insane farming from AI. This looks like a player trying to make a SimCity.
Get rid of the farm. No, don't get rid of... That's a blacksmith. The farms are much more important to get rid of. Yeah. Looks like he's getting really confused, yeah? Move back. Move back. Yeah.
Okay, separate
The Spirit
control.
Wolves, you can let them fucking die if you want.
This
as long as they
headhunter
get
should
those
go
farms.
home and stay home.
Yeah, nice. And get the wolves on the next farm.
I started to stabilize here a bit, getting into kind of a rhythm, having a better understanding
nice
of
micro
what
attempt.
I'm doing and what I should do next. I was picking off the insane AI's units bit by bit, and
This is how you-
I stayed firmly...
This is how you want to play against AI. Better, of course. You always want to be better. But the concept is you should go over there with ranged units and just start shaving off units, saving all your own. Because if you do something by yourself for 12 minutes or 10, and you show up, they have an army that will overwhelm you. You show up early, you can start building off experience on kills on them.
outside of his base, which prevented him from creeping and leveling, but I think at this point I must have started suffering from success because
You're gonna
what
lose
I
your
did
hero.
next was totally inexplicable. Even after watching this clip like 50 times, I still don't know
I think she's gonna right-click her Farseer into army and lose it.
what I was thinking. You need to let me do my thing.
See, do wolves. If I let you do your thing a little bit, all of your units are gonna go and back.
I need strong
No, you can't do what you're doing, Angelika. You, what are you doing?
going to shop because they're sleeping.
No, it's gonna be daytime. It's
You're wasting
daytime.
a lot of time.
No!
6.
Yeah,
They're
you were
really
winning, but now that you've gone here, you've really fucked yourself over.
Oh,
I
shit.
don't think that was a good idea.
She's gonna get stuck.
Fuck.
Good job. Why are you? What are you doing?
Restart?
Just run back. Just run
TP.
back.
I've
You're
lost
stuck.
everything.
By the way, her brother is not that good too. He could have already seen that she's stuck, and he's telling her to run out. And he's being a bit too negative. I'm just gonna say it. So we've got it. They're siblings. Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Why did you just do that? And no one told.
I learned something in MOBAs, and the same is true for coaching. And by the way, I made this mistake with Likari yesterday too. I got pissed with Likari yesterday for sucking. When I should be like the patient coach and teammate. Very bad as a teammate or coach to do it. In game 1, I lost my cool. And I also said something like, why? Never, ever ask why to a teammate or someone in an active game. Never why. It's always blamey.
Told you to do that.
Why? Why you little? Never say why. You were being mean to him yesterday. He was trying. I didn't mean to be, but I was, and I didn't like it. And he said it was fine, but like, yeah, that's why I think I'm overdue a break, so I'm too tightly wound. That's why but anyway, let's focus on the video.
Yeah, I thought it would be good if we got it in early.
No, okay. When you're winning against the insane AI or anybody else, and you're like outside their base winning, never leave.
Okay.
You're fine.
Not even decades of research and studies by world-class professors would explain why I decided to throw the game like this. I don't know if I'm ever...
I mean, she was pretty low on health. Honestly, she could probably just down portal, heal self, and clarity, and then walk to the AI base again. He wants her to stay and limit test while her Farseer is like 100 life. It might work. It could work. I don't think it was bad to go back, but maybe he could have helped predict that the camp is going to wake up at daytime.
We're going to be able to do this.
You approached it with such enthusiasm earlier.
I couldn't beat easy AI 2 days ago, so I am very excited about this.
And then you started going like, I just can't concentrate here.
You need to let me do my thing a little bit.
Dude, why did you just do that? And no one told you to do that.
I thought it would be good if we got it in early.
No, there's...
I mean, I am enthusiastic about it, but I'm also...
What do you want?
Tweaking.
Work
Tweaking.
complete.
Very basic. Keep it basic.
Of course, people lose enthusiasm and they get frustrated when you keep failing, especially if there's not a lot of like positive development and encouragement and so on. It's normal. Anyone would lose some of their morale.
And that's good.
Fine.
That's nice. He has a paladin, which is not the greatest first hero.
I'm gonna try and...
Maybe don't focus the farm when it's full HP, because he's just gonna repair it. Only focus the farms. Remember, we were focusing the farms in a different scenario when they were being built for the first time. He has a melee hero. All of his stuff is melee.
New players that get a lot of money, very common, especially when you're constantly fighting. It's good to just try and exaggerate. So just instead of going to your barracks and making 1 or 2 headhunters at the same time, which is what pros do so that they don't tie up too much money that can now not be used for other things, just queue up 4 or 5. Just hold down the button until your money goes empty. Will that slow down other things? Hell yeah. But now you don't need to think about it for the next 2 minutes.
You can probably snipe the hero.
Hero?
Well, that unit's low, so go for the unit now.
Shit,
Although he has healing, so you'll have to wait until all of his mana goes away. But he's melee, so you can take a very small amount of damage. Just make sure you're consistently creating trolls.
Yeah.
Just make sure you're consistently creating trolls. Just make sure that you're also going to be
Did you see she made 2 headhunters at the same time, which is a high-level habit, but low-level players should first do a low-level habit of making 6 units at the same time instead of 2.
We did this again.
Are you going into 2-2 at any point?
5 you.
Yeah, that's good. You're doing well.
Nice, she's
Make
using
a lava
control
spawn
groups.
after, by the way, when you get to
Learning
2-2.
good habits
I
early.
don't want to make a lava spawn, I want to do it without.
Do you want to win? I don't know why you think it's like cheating or something.
I don't know, I just feel like it's not...
She feels Firelord is unethical, like it's a cheese. Like it's cheesing equals cheating. So she has a moral compass of ethical gameplay. Cheesing is for losers. That's kind of based.
It's fine. Make a lava spawn and just get a win. You don't have much more. You don't have much more time here.
Misclick.
It's also very fun to do lava spawns.
A left click.
And they're also all ranged. You know what I mean?
Wait, she's using original hotkeys, like I am, like the 2002 approach. Usually for new players, it's better to use grid since it's hard for them to find everything. Look at this. Hotkey O to level up your hero, then T to level up feral spirits.
Oh, you didn't get that kill.
Stupid creep is getting it.
Wolf. wolves, and trolls, please.
That's why she's mouse clicking it. It's too far
that's
away.
Great. Yeah. Just like that. See, he's running somewhere and now taking free damage. Your Farseer, though, is taking too much damage. Yeah. Perfect.
Okay, microing better.
Again, really small thing,
Oh,
but me pulling that headhunter out and putting him to the back of the group was actually a really big deal because prior to this, as you would have seen, I would not do that and I would just straight up let them die. Now we were really in business. I had a good feel for how I wanted to harass his base and get all the units out to pick them off. I could keep an eye on my production and look back to my base without suffering major losses in my army, and I was getting closer and closer to actually fully infiltrating his base after I reluctantly agreed to get a Fire Lord instead of my TC. Which, by the way, I don't know why I'm so against using a Fire Lord. I just feel like he's too OP, and I would kind of prefer to just be good at orcs by using this.
Yeah, using the orc heroes. I see that. I see that. I think it's nice to cheese sometimes to break yourself out of a rut when you are trying to do things the right way and play macro the right way and so on, but it's not gelling. I think it's a morale boost. You got to remember, we're all emotional creatures, and when we, well, unless you're like a sociopath or something, or you don't have feelings, but yeah, you got to remember that if you're going to get too frustrated to be able to learn and feel relaxed.
Specific orc heroes to get their full advantage, it just feels cooler and more authentic.
Nice.
I don't think that it's actually cheating to get a Fire Lord, but I just prefer to do it
Is she
the
winning?
other way.
Yeah,
With
it's
a bit
over.
of patience, I finally entered the enemy base. Things started to get really exciting here because I just finished my tier 3 upgrade, and I knew that at this point we were creeping up to an epic and game-changing moment where my desired build would finally come into fruition and I would get my long-awaited Berserker Trolls.
Nice. So epic. I've never seen such an epic versus AI montage. With the WoW music. Wait, that's multi-core music! I love this music now. Heal solving Firelord mid-fight. No wonder you guys always love the WoW music. After you've had all those experiences, it's extra special. Firelord gonna die? No. 2 lava spawn. 2 wolves came. Yeah, there we go. Oh. Okay, but now she still needs to win alone. And against undead, by the way, which is the hardest.
Alright, I'd say that's good progress. And you can definitely beat a lot of...
just beat insane computers.
Yeah. I think that you can probably go to the ladder and beat somebody, like, off the bat.
No.
People on the ladder can't even beat the insane computer, apparently.
Really?
Some of them can't.
Someone must be alive because they're building... Oh no, wait, that's me.
After O10, yes, can win one.
That's great.
All in.
That's so satisfying. Isn't that so satisfying?
It is. Oh my god. I just beat insane computer.
From really good micromanagement. There we go.
Yes.
Save that replay. Alright, high five.
Thank you. Oh my god.
Beautiful.
Alright, let's save the replay.
15 minutes as well. That's a good time. Good time.
First insane win!
There we go.
There's the multiple eyes.
Okay. So at this point, I'd already completed my roadmap by killing insane AI, so the next step was to go into online play, but I decided to get one more insane game in as practice before going into ranked matches, and it went really well. Yeah. As you can see, I was also able to do it with all orc heroes without the Fire Lord this time, which made it a much more satisfying win because it's kind of the way that I wanted to do it, and it definitely boosted my morale before online ranked play.
Good job.
Twice. Second time. Amazing.
Nice.
Alright. Gonna save this replay too.
I wish I had my first games saved in replay. Imagine. Oh, that would be such a laugh. It would be so good to see it back. Like the first ever game, but I don't have them. Online ranked game. You'd be flaming yourself so hard. No, I have a lot of patience for new players. Cruiser the Bruiser. What do you mean? I understand everything in its own context, everyone at their own pace.
Alright, Multiplayer?
Go for it.
Okay, what do I do?
Versus?
Versus?
How
Turtle
do you
Rock?
select?
Oh, she's only played on Turtle Rock. She's gonna play on something like Twisted Meadows and be completely confused. Oh no.
I'm so nervous.
I wonder if you're gonna get an unranked player or someone who's way too high rank, and then you're gonna get dusted.
I'm fully prepared to get dusted. Good thing that I was prepared, because I did get dusted like 5 times.
Given this particular outcome,
Oh god.
Oh my
you're
god.
fucked.
4,300 is above the norm.
As expected, playing online against other people was nothing like playing against AI, because they would actually play
Russian
against
player.
you, and most of my games ended pretty much the same way. They would get into my base very early.
So she also enabled opponent chat, which not everyone has. So the lack of response from an opponent no longer is a deliberate snub. Before it was like a snub or something. Unless someone is really new, I suppose. But these days, a lot of people don't have chat on because they don't know it's off by default in the new client. By the way, her APM went up. She was 58 to 60 versus AI, now 65.
And I couldn't even finish. I would just have to say GG and call it a day. It wasn't a fun time. It was getting a little bit
58
frustrating
again.
at this point also.
It's so crap that you could have done something. You
Just do something and win.
I don't know why I panicked. I did panic a lot and have a lot of very unnecessary mental blocks. Again, because I know maybe that I'm playing against a real person, and I know it's going to be different to
This
AI.
looks like AI though,
But
the paladin
eventually,
guy.
I also started getting over that a little bit.
Okay.
okay. Berserk them? No, all of them.
Turning on.
Just type, yeah.
Nice. Any war
Focus
stomp?
hero, he's all gonna stuff.
She has war stomp.
You might actually get
She has heal pull
snap.
too, nice.
6T while you're doing this. You might teleport.
Oh, heal pull, heal pull!
Yeah, get his knight, get his knight. Oh, you weren't paying attention.
What
again.
knight?
And then I started stuttering again
Uh-oh.
for no reason. Things were going fine. I had way more units than he did. I was in his base. I was destroying him there. He had to TP when he was in his own base. But eventually
to
I
knights.
just, again, started suffering from success.
Those knights have 10
And
armor.
All my games after this started ending in GG, after GG, after GG. Until...
Tragic.
Sorry for murdering your ears, but how did we get here? So we started off the same way as normal. I had my build
3,200.
order going
Okay.
in the
I think some of the invitational participants also got to 3,200, 3,400. I think Tyler was around 3,000 as well, by the way, wasn't he? Like 3K, 3.1, 3.2, something like that. Then he ended up going to W3 Champions.
very beginning, had my peon production.
So she's in good
Everything
company.
was fine, business as usual. I didn't have any expectations for this game, and I was a little bit down after getting beaten so many times as well, after doing
Yeah.
what I do every time, really. I didn't change my strategy a whole lot, and I think that the main thing that was happening was that I was getting really nervous and I was panicking, but
Build order looks
for
good.
this, I was just kind of at the point where I didn't care too much. I just kind of went with it, and so things were a lot more peaceful this time around. Very early on during this game, I caught him that
build
he was
order
going
looks a
back
lot
to
better.
my base to...
She's got 7 peons on wood. Her resources have lined up so that she can tech at a really nice time. I think she's forgetting, but build order wise, it cleaned up a lot from 20 minutes ago in the video.
check it out a little bit, I guess, to harass my peons a little bit. But a really good thing that I didn't do
Nice.
was
Saving
send my
peons?
Farseer back. So it was good that I didn't send him back, and instead I put my peons in burrows and I
Counterattack.
had my Farseer harass his base. So I think that this put him off balance a little
Yeah.
bit because he was still there with his hero and I was fully destroying
Nice
his
micro on
Voodoo
the
Lounge,
peons.
which is a pretty important
Is she gonna
structure, and I mean,
cycle the
he's
peons?
already spent money on it and everything. You don't really want to be losing that, so I was quite happy with where I was at. His peons came, they started
-1
panicking and
peon.
fixing it, so this surely put a bit of a dent into his lumber production as well,
Grunt
because
harass?
they weren't doing anything other than fixing the Voodoo Lounge for a while, and
She
then
still
he
has her
started
peons in
doing this
burrow.
thing where he was constructing towers. So the towers were a very, very big thing in this particular game. I actually hadn't encountered anyone else before that did so many towers as this guy did, and this seemed like a bit of a problem in the beginning, but I actually ended up being really happy that he went with this particular tower strat.
Her peons
He
have
did come
been in
back to
burrow
his base
for
then,
so
and
long.
we started to have a bit of back and forth. I would kind of come into his base a little bit, maybe try to kill a grunt, maybe try to get a tower. It lasted for a while. You really had to be very patient with this.
2 peons
At
here.
some point, I did stutter a little bit, and he actually did end up killing my hero, but this wasn't too much of a problem because I actually had a troll very close to the tavern, so I could just purchase him straight away from the tavern, and this got me back on track really quickly. I decided that I was gonna do a
shop.
voodoo lounge really
And tower.
close to his base, so this would allow me to get my healing salves and whatever else I needed right outside of his base, because my plan was to stay there the whole time. This worked really well with AI.
By the way, she did not need to rehire her hero from the tavern. It takes 33 seconds to retrain your hero from home. It's 170 gold, 0 lumber. From the tavern, it's 340 gold or something with another 70 lumber. You get half life and 0 mana instead of full life 100 mana. She rehired from tavern and then stood still because she was trying to pull back her headhunter, so it would have already been back here.
And I thought, well, if this guy was a little bit nervous about leaving his base when I'm right outside of it, it might be a good idea to have the voodoo lounge there because
She couldn't select her army until the peon
his
leaves.
base when I'm right outside of it.
Look, she's waiting until the peon is no longer in the selection. This is why we use shift. So you can first do like shift on these headhunters, then shift box around this, and then shift click the Farseer. So you don't need to wait until one square perfectly encapsulates everything.
But it might
Because now she has to aim where the line overlays on the Farseer, but doesn't overlay on this peon. Because it's a square, and she can't just like free draw. So it's much easier if you just do shift box select here, and then hold shift on this as well, and then...
might be a good idea to have the voodoo lounge there because I doubt that he would get to the point where he could actually break it without having me going into his base and destroying all of his towers. So the tower strat that we mentioned earlier kept going here. He kept constructing towers. He'd kind of have like a grunt.
He can
here and
solo her
there.
army
I think
with
he tried
blade.
to do a bit of a creep, but then
Level
he
2.
stopped because I came into his base again. And as we were going back and forth, I would get a little bit closer.
You can also
a little
double
bit
click or
deeper
control
into
1.
his base. I did
Control
end up
left click.
getting the Fire Lord for this because I thought that if I had a really good chance, it probably would be with the Fire Lord. So I gathered my large army outside of his base. I had my voodoo lounge.
buy heal
I
pots.
was able to purchase healing salves and whatever else I needed. I also had my peon in my group a lot for some reason. Sort of a frustrating thing I did where I kept adding them to my group because instead of using control groups, I did rectangular boxes. But anyways, I continued destroying his towers. And one really important thing that was happening here was that I was getting
Nice
to
target
destroy
fire.
a lot of his towers before they were even constructed. So what that means is he puts down a tower, he starts building it, and he uses the resources to build it, but if I break it before it is done, he doesn't have a tower, so he hasn't used it at all, and also he doesn't get back any of his resources.
If he doesn't cancel it. Otherwise, it is pro rata diminished from the original refund price. So you get back 75% of the cost, and then the percentage of damage that's done is taken off from the percentage that you would have got back.
So it's a big waste of time, it's a big waste of money, especially if he goes to straight away construct another tower right there where I broke the last one, and I think that he was focusing on his towers way too much.
This blade could solo her army. If the guy wasn't like intent on guarding his towers and just clicked her, just cast a spell on blade and then clicked her, she would lose the fight.
Because I could just stand there and
But he's not
break them
chasing.
all day. But as you can probably imagine, you can make as many towers as you want up until a certain point because the gold
So
mine
she's putting
and
mental pressure
lumber
on him.
are finite resources, particularly the gold mine. I do want to state that I am not saying this as a perfect and experienced player, because the thing is, I wasn't really thinking about his gold mine when I could have been. I was very focused on my own army, on my army's health, on my production, on everything that was going on my end, that I kind of forgot that, you know, he is just like me and we're sort of on equal footing where his resources do run out and his gold mine does run out. And I was way more nervous than I probably should have been, and I did make a few mistakes. I did lose units where I probably shouldn't have, but I also did a few good things. Like I got a couple of creeps in near a gold mine, which is really good. They were higher level.
She could tiny great hole expand here, actually. The way how he's playing so passively. Would also be nice to work on attack upgrades for berserkers.
Creeps, and
make more use of clarity potions. She buys a lot of heal pots and mana pots, but not clarity, which are more cost efficient, even though she's not in fight.
It was getting a little bit stressed out because he was harassing like the mini base I had outside of his base, but that meant that I could go back and destroy more towers, which again was great. But again, admittedly, I was doing this
Nice
without
triple
sort
hero.
of thinking about what I'm doing. I just knew that like I just have to keep destroying the towers, and it felt like a good thing to do, and it felt like a good
It was good to do because they were not fortified yet. So he's investing in them, you get XP for killing them, and you keep him focused on remaking them, because for some reason the guy felt like he needs a lot of towers, right? I feel like she's too zoomed in. Like her camera control could be better by focusing on the action. Sometimes there are moments where like I feel like her camera's too low. But if you just zoom out like a good 500 or 800 units or so, you would have so much more vision, and then it wouldn't feel as claustrophobic and disorderly.
strategy.
So her camera zoom feels like the original, which is very cool and OG, 1650. I use 2300, so I'm 650 units zoomed out compared to this.
But at some point, I got very stressed out, and I started to stutter and kind of lose my footing a lot more than I probably should have. Meant that during this game, I didn't actually feel that I was like terribly panicking at any point. I got another creep in. He continued constructing his towers because that's just what he was going to do.
Yep.
But I felt pretty confident because I had such a large army right outside of his base. I had a Kodo, I had the bestiary right outside, so I could redo the Kodo if he killed him. It was a good place to be in, and at that point I'd already done my tier 3 upgrade, so I had my Berserker Trolls, which again...
So it's all a little slower than how a higher level player would do it, right? But the concept of what she's doing, which is Farseer Headhunter containment style with in and out micro, and trying to consolidate your forces back to a vantage point where you're right outside their base, heal solving up, and then going again, keeping up the pressure, and very importantly, taking the enemy creep camps and not really alleviating pressure on the opponent. That's a really good concept, and this is what high level players do as well. Farm out their side of the map so that later, if you ever get pushed out from the position, you still have your own half to fall back on. If you're in the driving seat, bad would be to go all the way across to your own side of the map, waste time walking there, and then give the opponent their slice of the map that they can now still freely farm.
Again,
how would one counter that? In order to break out from a contain like this and prevent an opponent like Angelikatosh to farm out your side of the map, you would need to get strong enough so that you can challenge their army directly. And you've got something working for you. Because you're the defender, your reinforcements come in better. You got to choose the right time to go out. Part of what the enemy orc was doing is he made so many towers that his mobile force to attack her here on this frontal base wouldn't be as powerful because part of his investment was in infrastructure.
Was really great because I knew that this was my build and this was kind of what I was going for since the beginning anyway. So this is the point where I wanted to be at.
That's not worth the
But my
chain
main
lightning.
problem was my hero levels. So my heroes were both level 2 or level 3 at some point.
Did you see that? She noticed the lightning shield.
Hero levels. So my heroes
Or maybe he said it. I saw Arthur talk.
were both level 2.
Because I've seen some players have lightning shield in their army repeatedly and lose lots of units.
Or level 3 at some point.
From the invitational participants.
And his hero was level 5. The problem with the Blade
maybe he said
Master
it.
is that when they get to level 6, they can do Blade Storm, and I really don't like Blade Storm. I think Blade Storm is a very, very big problem for all of my units, especially if they're standing so closely together. I did get him to...
Very nice. She also clicked his hero to check what items he had. He has Heal Solve, Double Heal Pot, Lightning Orb, and TP. So it's good to know, like, does he have Mana Pot? Yes, that means he could Blade Storm. No, it means he can't.
out at one point, but it felt like it was getting a little bit dangerous here and that I was going to lose a lot of units if he came back. So the next step was actually an expansion.
Here? On his base?
Finish off the creep because you're going to be expanding there. Okay?
Okay.
Now take a look at your army
I'm
being
under
attacked and move away from that. Move away from there. Heal potion on Farseer now.
Those classic sounds are... I wish he had classic sounds. These are the Reforged sounds. Did you hear how terrible Bladestorm sounds on this?
Okay?
Okay.
Now take a look at your army being attacked and move away from that. Move away from there. Heal potion on Farseer now. Heal potion.
Disgusting.
Target his hero.
Not her fault though. It's Blizzard's fault.
Get your shaman ready to heal anything.
Hex.
Get your
Hex
shaman,
the blade.
or get your heal something. Heal anything.
Hex
Heal
him.
anything.
Oh, he's
heal
dead.
something. Your things are dying for no reason. You kill this hero.
Your things are dying for no
Save
reason.
some more shit. Yeah, nice. His hero's dead. All of his things are dying. He's probably running out of money, and you're going to be coming over to expand. And you've got loads of
Great
money
coaching.
anyways. But don't spend much more.
Your
Okay?
things are dying
Upgrade
for no
your,
reason. Oh!
GG! Fucking got it, alright, bitch! Got him! That's right! Alright?
Wait, GG.
No, he's gone, he ain't there! You got it, alright, have five. Good fucking job. Yes! And you're gonna go expand, yeah.
Yes, this was an incredibly satisfying conclusion.
Nice.
There we go, that was fun, right?
That was really fun.
He probably ran out of gold and he couldn't expand.
Guys, do you like how Blizzard desensitized people to the judgmentalism of traditional ranks? Bronze, silver, gold. Except the categories are so big. Imagine dropping from duelist to rival. To me, that sounds like an upgrade. I think going from duelist to rival, like emotionally, it sounds like an upgrade. I'd rather be someone's rival than just a duelist. Rival means I'm threatening. Duelist just means I'm a participant. But here, rival's lower. Seems fine to me. No, I don't like it. No, I don't mind. Yes. No, it's very casualized. I don't care about rank. Who cares? I mean, I care about a lot of things.
That was really fun.
It takes away the... Yeah, Dota has it similar, right? Like Herald, Guardian, Crusader, Legend. None of them sound significantly worse than others. And I think it just sounds worse because of the connotation we've since learned from Dota 2. I'm not overthinking it, Bill Boy, because clearly Blizzard thought about it. Anything that someone created is worth thinking about because they thought about it when they made it. And they intentionally chose to make it different than bronze, silver, gold. And there's a reason for that. And so I can think about it too. It's different if I start thinking about, why does Mars choose to look red? And then I'd be overthinking it because nobody chose that. It's just how it is. But this has been designed by someone on purpose to destigmatize people from bronze, silver, and gold. I'm not going to stop thinking. Well, what do you want me to do?
You probably ran out of gold and he couldn't expand because you trapped him in his base. Because you trapped him in the base, he couldn't get out. Fuck him! That was a good fucking online win. That's way cooler than.
Wait, is she not gonna play without coaching online? Maybe next video. I want to see a no coaching game. This is still cool though.
So for the final reveal, how long did this take me? If you take away the week that I spent playing the campaign for some reason, I went from this to this in 2 days.
That's not bad.
I suppose one major purpose that I hope that this video serves is that you will watch it, see that even me, can do this, and that means you can too.
Yes! Try out Warcraft 3, people.
I don't think I got very good at Warcraft 3 in those 2 days, but I definitely built a solid foundation for myself. From now on, I hope to continue posting my Warcraft 3 progress on my journey to become a good Warcraft 3 player.
Wait, what's good? How good are we getting? Build more burrows.
And finally, a separate and special thank you to my coach, Arthur.
Wait, is she coming for my level? She's coming for you, bro. Fortitude is good. Yeah, Fortitude's alright. 2,700, 1,500. She's 2,400 right now. No, she's 3,500 on Battle.net. She was at 34 and then won her first match. So you start at 4.2. She probably lost like 10, 15 games. And then won one and went from 34 to 35. So there's still a lot of movement in the MMR on Battle.net.
Who guided me, helped me, and saw this project through to the end. I literally could not have done it without you.
But you can now. Cool. I like this. I'd like to see more of this. People were always very afraid to start games like Warcraft 3. And recently with Tyler giving it a try and all the Invitational and everything, and the Bronze League Heroes that I did before that, I think a lot of people gained confidence to try it out for the first time. as they see, like, hey, there are new players in Warcraft 3, and there should be. Because guess what? Even in this day and age, 2025, there's a lot of good games coming out these days. But this is one of the best RTS ever. Very cool. GG. Nice. I'd like to see more of this. And see how far she's willing to go as well to try and get better on BNet or W3 Champions. Good video. Good video. I would like to see more.